Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a great day and welcome to the Tundra Dude 34 YouTube channel. It is time to recap 2024 and talk about some of the greatest Tundras we were able to find on the dealership lots in the last 12 months. Now, a lot of channels do a recap of their year and talk about all sorts of different things. I'm going to focus on my top 10 ranked best trucks I was able to find. Before we get to that, there's a few things I want to note. An honorable mention that I didn't put on the top 10, but just so you guys know, it would be near the very top if I did. In September, I finally got the 1794 TRD Off-Road. I always wanted to. That has been one of my favorite trims of Tundra, probably my favorite trim of Tundra for a very long time, even in the last generation. For some reason, I never bought one. Finally, I was able to get one from Scranton Toyota. So that is not on the list. I kept that one off the list, but just so you know, that was a big thing that happened in 2024, and I'm still madly in love with that truck. Through the year, we were able to visit 20 different Toyota dealerships all over New Jersey, all over Pennsylvania, and one in Virginia. And that doesn't include dealerships that weren't Toyota dealerships. We did go to a few of them to find some unique used Tundras. In 2025, we will go to even more. So it was a nice year there. As far as the Toyota Tundra itself, it was a year of highs and lows. When we talk about lows, we're obviously talking about the engine recall that was announced on May 30th. And that has to do with a certain production range of 22 and 23 Tundras. It affected 100,000 Tundras and a Lexus model as well. And I guess the good news of that is the remedy from Toyota for this problem is a complete new engine, including turbos, for all 100,000 plus Tundras / Lexus that were part of the recall. When they came out with the report in early June from the NHTSA, the failure rate was very small. Now that failure rate has gone up quite a bit since then, but they're replacing all 100,000 engines. It's not just a short block replacement, they're doing the entire engine assembly. So that is a positive on some negative news there. Now we say lowest of lows, there are also highest of highs. In 2024, the Toyota Tundra has sold the second most Tundras in a year all time. All right, so it beat out 2008, and the year's not even over yet. This does not include December. As of the end of November, 2024 was the second best sales year for Tundra all time. So that is the highest of highs. But today, we're going to focus on what your favorite video is every single week when I make them. And that, of course, is the dealership walk. You guys absolutely love them, and I love making those videos because long before Tundra Dude 34 existed, before this channel was around, I used to go to the lots on Sunday and look at vehicles. So now I get to do it with you guys, which makes it a lot more fun. So you're about to hear my top 10. We'll start at 10 and go to number 1. Now, this isn't just what the truck is. I'm going to talk about a little bit about the hunt as well, because you need to know this. On Sunday, I film the dealership walk and I do the live stream with you. Then I come home and I edit, and by Monday night, the dealer walk video is up. On Tuesday, I begin my search for what next Sunday's dealership walk will be. It takes a while because I got to look at inventory, the stuff that's on the ground. Am I doing a dealer walk that's focusing on all the trims, or am I doing a dealership walk where I go specifically to look at a truck or two that are very special? I do that every once in a while as well. So it does take all week to get that all settled up to make sure Sunday is a success and a good show for you guys. But these are the 10 best. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and feel free to re-rank them, whatever you guys want to do. I can't wait to hear. So starting with number 10, and we have to go back to April, Tri-County Toyota, and it was a 2024 SR5 Lunar Rock, and it had the TRD lift on it. The reason this is special, there's a couple different reasons. Number one, this isn't a TRD off-road, okay? This is just a regular SR5. They added the TRD grill up front, but it has the TRD lift. And at this time in April 2024, everybody was talking about how they don't like the factory wheel and tire package that comes on the lifted Tundras, because it's the same wheel and tire package that comes on the non-lifted Tundra. So everyone says it needs more tire. Well, this was one of the first ones I was able to see on the lot where the dealership added different wheels and tires to kind of fit what everybody wants when it comes to that TRD lift kit, that desired look from it. And I mean, this was a nice aggressive tire, a nice wheel, and the truck looks amazing. I love Lunar Rock. This does not have TRD off-road package once again, so you don't get locking rear diff multi-terrain select and crawl control. but aesthetically, it looks great. On the inside, it had Softex heated seats. It had the 14-inch screen. It was loaded up nice for an SR5. So that's got to fall in for number 10 at me. We saw quite a few TRD lifted Tundras, but I think that one looked the best. Number 9, we're going back to April again, Toyota World of Lakewood. This is an SR double cab with the 8-foot bed. We never see them. I think that was one of the only ones I've seen since the new generation, maybe one or two, but we were finally able to see it. And the SR is the lowest trim of Tundra, and this one has the gigantic bed on it and that double cab, which once again doesn't really fit adults in the back seat very well unless you move those seats all the way up. But this truck, if you're buying an 8-foot bed Tundra, this thing's for utility. This has the iForce engine that is slightly detuned from the regular iForce engine that's in the SR5 and up, but still could do the job. It's a very basic truck. There's not any extras in it. It's meant to do the job. But to see this up here in the Northeast was kind of a shock because I'm always looking for SRs, and there's just not many out there. I'm already starting to see that for the 2025 model year, I think I've seen 2 or 3 SRs, and that's more than I've ever seen up here since the new generation came out. So that has to fall into number 9. That was a unique one to go see. Number 8 was around Thanksgiving weekend, and that was Toyota of Scranton in Pennsylvania. Finally able to see the Platinum TRD with the 6.5-foot bed. It was kind of a weird year in 2024. In the middle of 2023, inventory started kicking up again, right? All the part shortage was over, COVID was over. So summer 2023, we started to see inventory. But coming into 2024, in that changeover of the new year, last year, there just wasn't a lot of Platinum with the TRD off-road package. That was new for 2024, the TRD off-road package on the Platinum. So through that first turn into 2024, I barely saw any. Now we've gotten to the 2025 model year, and I've seen quite a bit more. But through that whole time, I was never able to see the Platinum TRD off-road with the big 6.5-foot bed, which is highly desirable among a lot of the viewers that I talk to. So it was nice to be able to see one in Scranton. This is a 2025 model year one. They actually had 2 of them. So I went from never seeing them to seeing 2, which was really cool. But that is a desired Tundra and not one you're going to see a lot of. Number 7, we just saw a couple weeks ago, but it had to be mentioned. It is the Platinum TRD in Terra. We went up to Newton and saw that one. That is one I thought would take a while to see because Terra in 2024 was the TRD Pro color, and for 2025, Terra came down into the other trims of Tundra. And this was one that everybody was really looking forward to. And I almost saw it at one dealership, and it sold immediately, and I wanted to rush up to see it. So Newton, we finally got to see it. Unfortunately, it was like 8 degrees, but that absolutely has to be mentioned. That color is great. And with the dark chrome setup, with all the luxury features of the Platinum, something to check out, absolutely. In that same video, I also went to Fred Beans in Flemington, New Jersey, and finally saw the Mudbath TRD Pro. Mudbath is the special color for 2025. And there was a few dealerships around here that had it, and they sold really quick, so I was jumping around all over New Jersey and Pennsylvania to find this thing. So it was cool to find the Platinum Terra TRD and the Mudbath on the same day in the same video. So that one was one that everybody wanted to check out and see what Mudbath looked like on the TRD Pro. Is it the same as Quicksand? Is it a little bit darker? By the way, in the description below, I'm leaving my link to the dealership walk videos. If you want to click and watch all of them from not just this past year, but years past, please go ahead. Go check out all these Tundras. So Mudbath came in at number 6. Number 5, Smoke Mesquite Limited TRD. And this is more of a personal thing. This was Dell Toyota recently in middle of December. I saw this thing. I love Smoke Mesquite and I love the limited trim. But when you go limited TRD, it body colors the entire outside of the truck. So the Smoke Mesquite with the black accenting looks phenomenal. Not to mention the fact that the truck could tow 11,000 pounds and still do the job. You could get that in 5.5-foot bed or 6.5-foot bed. This particular one was a 5.5-foot bed. And for 2025, the power up-down tailgate is here. There's black headliners in all Tundras from SR and up. So it tied it all together. And that Smoke Mesquite Limited was something that absolutely had to be mentioned. And it falls in at the number 5 spot. That's another one I've been looking for a very long time. And I saw one here or there. Back in October 2023, I saw one at Crestmont, but it wasn't loaded up the way that I would really like it. And for 2025 with the black headliner, I mean, that ties it all together. So that was one of the first ones I've seen that was fully loaded, ready to go. Number 4, I think you guys will really like. If you didn't see this video, please go check out the dealership walks. This was actually at Lester Glen Chevy. All right, so this is at a Chevy dealership. We saw it in May. It was a 2021 1794 TRD off-road. This thing was ultra clean. It had low miles. It had that midnight black exterior, and on the inside, it had that saddle brown, which looks more of an orange interior that we all came to know and love in that generation of 1794. At that time period when I was filming that truck, that was right after the recall came out, or right around that recall time period, when all of the second generation values spiked. A lot of the people who leased 2021 Tundras, their leases were coming to an end in 2024. So all over the place, I started to see these really low miles 2021s everywhere. And this was a great example, and it sold right away to a viewer, actually, which was pretty cool. But had to be mentioned, that 1794 TRD V8, 5.7 V8, of course, 381 horse, 401 torque. Beautiful truck, well taken care of. Number 3 is the 1794 limited edition. Saw this one in Turnersville Toyota in August, and I actually saw a couple through the year, back from May through the summer and into August. Now, the one I saw in August in Turnersville was the Blueprint, which turned out to be my favorite one, and that was where they actually had a pretty decent sized discount on it, which I never expected to see. If you don't know what the 1794 limited edition is, there's only 1,500 made. It was for the 2024 model year, and it's a mix of, I'd call it a TRD Pro, a Platinum, and a 1794 all in one. It replaced all the chrome on the outside of the body with dark chrome. It gave you the Fox suspension that you could find on the TRD Pro. On the inside, you had Saddleback Leather Company interior, which was awesome and unique. It was a very, very beautiful truck. And again, only 1,500 made. And I was able to see about 5 of them in all the different colors. I thought I'd love Smoke Mesquite, but that one I saw in Turnersville, that was the Blueprint. That was the one that stole my heart. So that falls in at number 3. Number 2 was a lot of fun, and I hunted this thing down, and I ended up going across New Jersey to film this after I already finished my normal dealership walk. You guys have probably seen this on the channel. This was a unique one here, man. 2021 TRD Pro Tundra Crewmax, and it was in Lunar Rock, the special color for 2021. This had insanely low miles on it. This was off lease. This thing was like brand new looking, and you could hear my excitement in the video because, again, in the summer at that time, all of the values were insane on second gens, and I knew this one wouldn't last forever. It ended up selling a few days later. They were asking $56,600 for it, and if I remember correctly, it was in the high teens as far as mileage, like 18, 19,000 miles on it, but it was absolutely pristine and beautiful. And people are always looking for the 2021s because it was the last year of the second generation. But to find the TRD Pro, which is the most sought after trim of Tundra, in the special color for that year, in that condition, was awesome. I'm always looking. And like I said earlier in the day, I filmed either in Pennsylvania or all the way across the state. And I remember driving another 2 hours just to go film that. Beautiful truck, absolutely deserves to fall in at number 2, 100%. And that was at Holman Toyota in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. And that was filmed in July. Before we get to number 1, which if you've been around the channel a while, you probably will know this video, okay? But I want to tell you the quick backstory behind this video. My number 1 pick is a Platinum TRD Off-Road iForce Max in Lunar Rock, 2024 model year. I had to go down to Warrenton, Virginia at Warrenton Toyota to film this truck. It was a long day, but it was totally worth it. Now, like I was saying earlier in the video, end of 2023 into 2024, it was hard to find any kind of Platinum with TRD. You could find the regular Platinums. They were pretty much everywhere, at least around me. But Platinum with TRD was very tough. The color that came in 2024 to the Platinum was Lunar. So to be able to find a Platinum, TRD, iForce Max, Lunar Rock, that was like unicorn level stuff. So I asked a buddy of mine at a local dealership to search where the closest one is. And at the time of filming that video, which was January, it was ice cold out there. Go check that video out in the dealership playlist down below. With filming that Tundra, there was 5 on the ground in the country. And it was either go to Virginia or go to Ohio. Those were the 2 closest to me. So I drove down to Virginia and was able to film that Tundra, which at the time was the creme de la creme of Tundra when it comes to 2024. It had the exact setup everybody was looking for that nobody could find, and I was able to get down there. So that falls into number one for me. Long day, long ride. That was like 7 hours on the road, worth every second. Tundra was absolutely beautiful. So that had to fall in to number one. And also that video did very, very well. So I thank you guys so much for that. Let's recap this one more time. Number 10 is going to be the Lunar SR5 with the TRD lift from Tri-County in April. Number 9 is going to be the SR double cab with the 8-foot bed in April from Toyota World of Lakewood. Number 8 is going to be the 2025 Platinum TRD with the 6.5-foot bed from Toyota of Scranton in November. Number 7 is going to be the Platinum TRD Terra from December, Toyota World of Newton. Number 6 is going to be that 2025 Mudbath TRD Pro from Fred Beans in Flemington. That was also in December. Number 5 is going to be the Smoke Mesquite Limited TRD from Dell Toyota in December. Number 4 is going to be the 2021 1794 TRD Off-Road from May at a dealership called Lester Glenn Chevrolet. Number 3 is going to be the 1794 Limited Edition, one of 1,500, and the one that I featured in this video is from Turnersville Toyota in August. Number 2, the elusive and beautiful Lunar 2021 TRD Pro from Holman Toyota in July. And number 1, the hunt of hunts, Lunar Rock Platinum TRD Off-Road I-Force Max in Warrenton, Virginia. So that is my list of the top 10 of the year. Once again, honorable mention, 1794 sitting in my driveway. Also want to thank you guys for a great 2024. This was actually my best year on YouTube. I've done 8.5 years of YouTube. This is my best year as far as a lot of metrics. So I thank you guys so much for tuning in and hanging out and watching all of these videos, the live streams, all the stuff we always do. Felt like this was a perfect video to end 2024 per se, because our last 2024 videos will really be the dealership walk this week, our live stream on Sunday, and our dealership walk on Monday. What better way to end a year than on the videos you guys love the most? So let me know what you think of my top 10. If you want to go down in the comments and rank top 10 that you've seen locally to you over the past year, please do so. But overall, I want to thank you guys for absolutely everything. Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok at TundraDude34, TundraDude34 at gmail.com. You guys have a great day. Be safe and be well.